quick introduction as to basically what the teleports do. Behind you here, what we've got is an 11-metre vertex antenna. It's a KU band antenna. And for those that are not quite aware of what satellite business does, basically what we're doing is we're using this antenna here to transmit to a satellite that's 36,000 kilometres in space, and basically it's a repeater. The difference between a land repeater and a satellite repeater is that it can see almost a third of the Earth's surface, so we can basically link point-to-point links from here to anywhere else in that region, or we can do multi-point broadcasting. This is a KU band antenna. We also have C-band antennas on the facility, and with the new Jabiru project we'll be looking at KA band antennas. NewSat has 2 teleports in Australia. There's this facility. There's also a facility in Perth in Western Australia. Both facilities have roughly the same number of antennas, between 12 and 13 of the larger antennas in each facility. The way that the NewSat business model has developed, in the West Australia with the oil and gas and mining resources boom, the Perth teleport is almost 80% dedicated to the oil and gas and mining, whereas the Adelaide facility has gone towards 80–90% military. So we've got most of the military traffic comes through this facility.
You'll see a number of smaller antennas around the place as well. They're typically what's out in the field, what's on the other end of our large antennas here. So we have those there as confidence antennas so that we can get a feel for what the customer's experiencing out in the field and check that the services are actually working into those smaller antennas.
The way we design the actual teleport for operational procedures, in that you'll see behind each of the antennas strategically located there'll be little cabins, and what those cabins are doing, we're actually housing our amplifiers in there. The reason we do that, we try and keep the amplifiers as close to the antenna so that we don't have any major losses between the amplifier and the antenna. It means that the amplifier and the transmission is much more efficient. Security, as you can see, right around the perimeter fencing, we've got barbed wire fencing, we've got cameras strategically located. Everyone in the control room, in the knock, which you'll see when you go inside, we've got cameras and everything's monitored and recorded so that we've got good security. This station is manned 24/7, so there's always someone here. It's also backed up by the Perth facility, so that the people here can speak to the people in Perth at any time. This is just a typical equipment room showing some of the amplifiers and the RF chain that we've got. Most of this is for the actual transmit path. The receive path, the main component, is actually situated up in the hub of the antenna, which is called an LNA, low noise amplifier, and that receives the signal and it comes through in a cable. But most of the actual equipment in here is towards the transmit RF chain.
These are the amplifiers that Len was talking about on the transmit side. So they're 750 watt travelling wave tube amplifiers. We've got 4 amplifiers that are online and 1 standby. All of our RF equipment is redundant, so backed up, automatic changeover, so if one fails, it'll switch over to the standby.
This is what we call the baseband equipment for the antennas that are outside. The antennas receive frequencies in the gigaband range, so they're sort of 6 gig, 8 gig, 14 gig, and that frequency is too high to use in here, so we down convert it to around about 1 gig, and then the baseband frequencies come into this room, and this is where all the modems are located and all the customers' VSAT hubs. And a lot of this equipment in this equipment room belongs to our customers. They'll request rack space and they'll come in, they'll put their rack equipment in, and then we maintain it for them. All the equipment in there is monitored in here. So if anything is faulty, a lot of it is alarmed, so an alarm will go off and we'll know there's something happened. We use a lot of software monitoring tools, so we can monitor the networks. This one here is monitoring New South Wales Fire Brigade. One of the hubs in there is for New South Wales Fire Brigade. Every one of their fire stations has a little VSAT antenna on the roof, and it's their backup service, and it goes to a hub in here, and we monitor that as well. So if one of their sites go down, we know about it. There's about 350 remotes on that network.